obviously no non-conference. But excited about it. We'll take it. We'll get back and we'll go to work and continue to get better. Questions?
Justin Williams.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, Shaquille Moore had a strong game today, career high 19 points. Can you talk about his play, A, but B, there was one point late in the first half when you guys were kind of settling for some jump shots. Boston College made a lead, and he passed one up and transitioned, led to a Funderburk layup down low. Do smart moves like that give you a little bit more trust in your freshman guards?
Yeah, Justin, it's trying to get those guys to grow up really fast. And I know people will say, golly, it's February. They're trying to get them to grow up. But any freshman in the country, unless you have been playing 25 to 30 minutes a game, they haven't had game experience. They haven't been able to go through what we've been through in the past with non-conference. And, I think the two guys who have taken a huge step and who had two really good practices was Shaquille Moore and Cam Hayes. Both of those guys are big-time competitors. Both of those guys are working hard. Shaq did a tremendous job. I asked him today to be a paint touch guy. We lost our guy who could get to the rim and Devin Daniels, and really the next guy in line who can really get to the rim and make something happen is Shaquille Moore. And, he went out there and he tried to execute what I wanted him to do.
And a quick follow-up, after the last game, you kind of talked about how the identity has changed with Devin Daniels out for the season. In a game where you win so drastically and painting the point and on the boards, I mean, does that give you confidence moving forward to kind of lean in on that front court the rest of the way?
Yeah, Justin, we have played since Devin's been out. This is our third game, but we played well enough to be able to win at Syracuse and then against number 14 UVA. We just needed other guys to be able to step up and help these guys, and they've been tremendous. Gib Cole obviously didn't have the hot hand, but I thought Manny and both DJ were tremendous inside. Our game plan was to throw the ball inside, and our guards executed that.
Thank you, Coach.
Corey Smith.
Hey, Kevin. Looking back to the beginning of 2021 now at this point, this team has had some really, rough rough days so far, whether it was taking losses or having to take the long break, and even in the win, losing Devin Daniels. What does it mean to just come out of this game and not only with a win, but come out of it as an overwhelming positive on the entire day?
Well, it's important that we get better. We knew coming into this season that it was going to be a challenge. What we didn't know is that we were going to lose our leading scorer and obviously one of our best leaders and our best guard. And so we've had to adapt on the fly. We're no different than most teams in the country. But if you take the best player off of any team, they're going to struggle. I didn't know how this team would respond after losing Devin Daniels. And, we're 1-2 since he's gone. But we played against two unique defenses and two really good teams, one of them on the home floor and then against the number 14 team in the country, which we had a chance towards the end. We put ourselves towards the end, a chance to win. But our identity has changed because the older guys, which are our post guys, have embraced the opportunity.
And wanted to, as a follow-up on the, obviously with Thomas Allen, Cam Hayes, and Braxton Beverly, not overwhelming offensive numbers, but all three of them really contributing in terms of being able to distribute the ball and get it inside to guys like Manny Bates and DJ Funderburk. How much have you seen them progress, being able to, kind of control the offense and be able to get it inside to them on entry passes?
Well, they will get better. We need them to play better, and I've asked those guys. On every given night, I need a guard to have a good night, especially if our bigs continue to play that way. Us losing is not on our guards. It's just we need somebody else to step up. When you look at the numbers from the couple losses, those guys were 5 and 6 points a game, and we need better guard play, meaning I need somebody to be able to score. We've worked a lot with those guys over the last couple of days and getting better. Tonight, it was really our execution or our game plan was to get the ball inside the paint and play inside out. And some of those shots that they missed, they'll make next time.
Thanks, Kevin.
Jared.
Kevin, this one played out very differently than the first round did about 5 weeks ago. Would you say that's more of how far your team has progressed since then and adjusted in the interim, or an indictment maybe of what it's like for BC to have had the last 5 games postponed? And if it is more of the latter, once again, another reflection of, in this type of season, how much a pause can hurt.
Yeah, I can't tell you. I think we are playing a little bit better. I'm sure those guys being on a pause and missing some guys is, obviously it's tough. We went through the same thing. It's always tough when you're going through a pandemic, but I can't say what's the difference in us being able to win more by a bigger margin here than we did at home. I know our guys are getting better. I know our guys are starting to believe in one another. We're sharing the ball more. We're doing a good job getting out in transition. I think we become a better defensive team. And so I can only talk about our end of it. I'm sure BC's got a lot of struggles right now.
Thank you, Kevin.
Andrew?
Kevin, I believe this is the first time in 4 games that Shaquille's played over 19 minutes, and I know it's the first time he's scored in double figures since that first Boston College game. What was kind of the difference for him today and kind of, breaking out and getting back to that level that he was at earlier in ACC play?
Well, Andrew, I think the biggest thing for those who have followed him from high school days, I mean, the kid's probably the best paint touch guy that I've seen in a long time. He's a gritty, hard-nosed defender. And honestly, when you pull up his stats, he was taking a lot of threes. He had fell in love with the three-point line. And our conversation the other day, actually was yesterday, is, man, I need you. You're the only guy really that I can consistently get into the paint. Braxton's a three-point shooter. Thomas's three-point shooter. Sebron does it a little bit different. And, so I needed him to be able to get into the paint and make plays. And we're a good basketball team. That kid's a good finisher when we have somebody that can get paint touches from our guard spot. And so that's why he played more minutes. And if he continues to get better, he'll play more minutes. But him and Cam Hayes, out of the younger guys, had the best couple days practice leading into this.
And as a follow-up on him, how impressive is it? I know you've talked about this before, for him to be doing some of the things that he's doing this year, despite kind of getting thrown into the fire in ACC play with really no exhibition games and not a lot of non-conference games to kind of figure things out.
Andrew, it's refreshing. Our backcourt of young kids will be really, really good. And it's unfair to them. It's unfair to everybody what's going on. So I want to make sure that I'm not just saying NC State, but it's unfair to them, the situation that we've all been put in. That being said, they're getting so much valuable experience playing right now. The kid's talented. And a lot of times when you're a young guy, you have to give more instructions about what you need from them opposed to just letting them go out there and play. And I've learned with those guys to give them instructions of what we expected from them.
James, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin. Obviously, with BC coming out of a pause, was it tough preparing for what they may present for you, maybe not knowing what they had available? And also, was it maybe more of a focus for you looking at the Virginia game and building off of that?
Well, I think it was both. We had no idea who was going to play. Obviously, at any point, anybody could have played. We don't know anybody's situation. I just hope that nobody is seriously sick and hope they make it back. But it was about us building on the last couple of games. It was about us trying to figure out how we can capitalize on the things that we've done well and to limit the mental mistakes, to get better. If we would erase a few of the mistakes, when you think about that at the Virginia game, I went back and we looked at deflections. We only had 23 and we're still in the game. That's just not who we are. We are a deflection team. We'll pressure you. We'll turn you over. And so I wanted to come into this game, regardless of how many played for BC. It was a great game for us because we were able to get away from Raleigh. We were on the road, and I just wanted those guys to focus on getting better, and I thought we did.
Thanks.
All right, our last question, Justin.
Coach, you just mentioned it's the first road win of the season, or first true road win of the season. I'm just curious how exactly the post-game ice cream works in the middle of a pandemic.
Well, Justin, I pay a couple guys a lot of money to try to figure that out. Chris Zepko, who is one of my directors, we were going into Clemson. I'll give you guys this. And this is why y'all can print this too. This is why we lost the Clemson game. Not because they scored more points than us. We lost it because we were walking into Clemson and I was walking beside him and he's like, Coach, I'm going to take the bus and I'm going to go see where we can get ice cream. And I was like, oh man, that is a kiss of death. You can't do that before the game. That's like, and if you do that, don't tell me. And so I hate that because I'm so stupid about it. So I told that game, I'm going to have to get the job that he had. So I don't know how good of a director he is. What game pandemic. You know what? We are going to get ice cream. We are going to get ice cream, even if it's got to be delivered to us, but we will have ice cream today. You're good. All right, thanks. Everybody enjoy DJ. He's coming up next. He's excited about his opportunity to speak with you guys. Here you go, DJ.
All right. Hi, DJ. Congrats on the great game. Thanks for taking time. We'll go ahead and open it up with any questions for DJ. James, go ahead.
Yeah, DJ, it felt like there was a major emphasis placed on getting the ball inside against Boston College. Was that pretty much the game plan for you guys going in?
Yeah, for the most part. So, leading up to the game, I think Coach Keys did a good job about just burning it in our guards' heads that we need to look in the post. We looked at film probably like 5 or 6 times in 2 days to, just figure out where we can get the ball to me, Cole, and Manny, and, just kind of put the team on our back as far as us three. And Keys thought as far as us three, it was just better for us to get the ball inside just because it was a size difference.
Corey?
DJ, for you, these last couple games have been kind of up and down. What did it mean to you to just be able to go out there and do what you did today, be able to put up those 14 points and 7 rebounds and be able to do that alongside Manny too?
To be honest, me personally, I've been trying to just be as consistent as possible. Obviously, like you said, it's been up and down, but for me and Manny to both have 14 and 7, that just goes to show that we both productive and equal at that time, same time.
And you could tell the other night you were pretty visibly upset about missing a couple free throws. You go 4 of 4 from the line tonight. What did it mean to you to be able to hit those and get back and back to being nearly perfect from the free throw line so far this season?
Yeah, I honestly think I beat myself up more on free throws than a missed layup. That's just because I just rarely miss. So to get back and go 4 for 4 today, I just wanted to make sure I just got back on my wagon and locked in on my free throws, and I made them.
Thanks, DJ.
Jared?
DJ, you guys were able to impose your will on them quite differently than the first go-around that you had about 5 weeks ago. Just wondering, as somebody who had to go through a pause, was that evident that Boston College was a team who was coming off having 5 games postponed in that regard?
Oh, I didn't even know they had 5, but you can definitely tell. It was points in the game where they obviously didn't want to get back, or they wanted to conserve their energy. I see why they played zone the whole game. I didn't know until the jump ball that they only had 5 scholarship players playing. So, that was even more of an emphasis and more of motivation for me and Manny to just sit in there and take advantage of the mismatches as much as we could.
And I know you certainly won't give anybody sympathy considering you all have had to do that, but does that just kind of show how difficult it is to recover from a temporary pause in this season?
Yes, definitely. When you don't play for a while and even if I don't know if they practiced or not, when you don't get those game reps, it kind of throw off your rhythm when you come in and play a team that's been playing for a while and they're hitting their shots and they're in rhythm. So it's definitely way harder to come in and try to stop a team that's been playing when you haven't had any game reps in a while.
Thank you, DJ.
Andrew?
DJ, you mentioned the guards being able to get in there and make plays for you guys today. Obviously, Shaquille Moore stepped up big time. How important was he today, and how impressive is what he's done in his freshman season?
Shaq has been a big help to our team as a whole. So prior to, I think like 2 games ago or a game ago, Keith told us our guards needed to step up more. You know, with losing Devin, everybody counted us out, but as a collective, as a guard collective, he wanted them to, you know, step up and help out the bigs way more than what we were doing before in those previous losses. So it just goes to show he stays in the gym and it's paying off for him.
Justin, go ahead.
DJ, coach talked after the Virginia game about how your guys' identity has kind of changed since Devin Daniels is out for the rest of the season. And now today's the 3rd straight game where you guys out-rebounded your opponent and you had more points in the paint than your opponent. Do you think rest of the way, I mean, that's going to be you guys' new identity, is kind of feeding the post first and kind of working from the inside out?
Yeah. To be honest, I think that's going to be our game plan throughout the rest of the season. If something changes, you'll obviously see it. But for right now, that's pretty much our bread and butter to let me, Cole, and Manny, you know, produce as much as we can, and then everybody else support around it.
Thanks, DJ.
All right, that's it. Thanks, DJ.
All right. Have a nice day.
Hi, Shaq. Thanks for joining us. We'll go ahead and open it up for any questions.
Hello, everyone.
Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Shaquille, congrats on the win in the big game. This was your first kind of big performance since earlier in ACC play. What do you think the difference was for you today in getting back to that level?
As Coach would say, just playing to my strengths, seeing the ball go in first, attacking, being aggressive in the beginning, which opens up shots for me as well as the game goes by.
James?
Yeah, Shaq, talk about how tough it is maybe for a guard trying to balance finding your own offense, but also taking care of your big guys, keeping them involved as well.
I don't find it hard because I feel like for me, the game is slowing down a little bit. But I just feel like if you know, we don't have that lane or that drive, I feel like we can easily feed it to our big men and they do our work for us.
Corey?
Hey, Shaq. So looking at the final numbers, you finished 8 of 12, but you started off 8 of 9. I mean, how much confidence did you have when those first few shots fell in? I think you started off like 5 of 5 before you missed your first shot right there before the end of the first half.
I just felt a lot of confidence. I seen the first 2 or 3 go in, playing to my strengths, as I said, and it just built that confidence in me to keep going.
And how much emphasis has been put on, I know, you know, for you and Cam, obviously you guys have had to take your lumps in the ACC play so far, but how much emphasis has been put on you guys not only scoring, but also feeding it down low and finding the bigs there to be able to contribute points?
That's just our job, defeat the big man, get it to them, reward them. It's very important for us to do that.
Jared?
Jack, DJ was just saying there were several ways he noticed that Boston College played like a team who was coming off a pause, especially in comparison to how they all played against you 5 weeks ago. Was just wondering if you noticed anything similar to that. And as a sidebar, I know you won't be giving anybody sympathy because you've undergone the same thing, but is it just another example of how damaging a pause can be in a season like this?
It can. It definitely can be damaging. I feel like when you're on a pause, it's easily to become out of shape. You're easy to not have that chemistry from not practicing. I think it all ties in together. So I seen it early that they weren't able to keep up with us too much. So I feel like it's them pauses are really.
Thanks, Shaq.
Justin?
Yeah.
Shaq, I want to take you back to one play at the end of the first half. You guys, or Boston College was going on a little bit of a run. You guys were settling for some jump shots, and then you had the ball in transition. You had a good look from three, but you hesitated. You passed it up. You passed the ball around, and it led to a DJ Funderburk layup down low. My question for you is, do you think that's a sign of your maturity and kind of growth this season? Do you think that's a move that maybe you would have made in game 1 versus now game 13 or 14 of this season?
Definitely some maturity and growth there. Shot selection is very important at this level, and that's a higher percentage shot. So I feel like swinging the ball around and getting it down low, if I don't have an immediate catch and shoot, then I feel like, that's the higher percentage shot. So yes, I do feel like maturity plays a big role here.
Thanks, Shaq.
No doubt.
Ryan?
Hey, Shaq. About halfway through the second half, you had a huge block that pretty much rejected it pretty much into the bleachers where fans would be. After the play, you kind of had like a little smirk and a little smile and a laugh to it. Was that kind of like this is my game right now, or what was going on in your head?
Just having fun, just enjoying the moment, embracing everything. It's just fun being out there, and just take a lot of passion doing it. So.
All right, Corey?
And Shaq, speaking of that fun, you guys have only had ice cream once this year. I believe it was during the one game that you had inside of the bubble. For you guys, how sweet is it going to be to be able to finally enjoy that after really tough start to road games so far this season?
It'll be fun. I mean, as Coach say, we got to get well, and tonight we definitely got well. We're better. We're better than we were. We've been playing hard. And I think we're well deserving of this ice cream, for sure.
What flavored ice cream will you be looking for?
Most likely chocolate chip cookie dough.
All right.
Thanks
so much, Shaq. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Shaq. We'll let you go enjoy that ice cream.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it, Shaq.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. That's it for us.